People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're gonna give up.
That's a quote from Steve Jobs, and I agree with him 100%. I'm a software engineer today because I didn't give up. And trust me, there's many times where I had my doubts. I had to study a lot more than I care to admit. I failed a lot of technical interviews, and I faced rejection after rejection after rejection. But even though it was hard and I had my doubts, I never quit because I love being a software engineer. Hey everyone, I'm John, your friend in tech. If you're new to my channel, I'm a software engineer at Google based in the Bay Area, and I create content around tech, career, and lifestyle. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 5 reasons why I love being a software engineer, and I hope it inspires you wherever you are on your journey. I'm making this video for everyone who aspires to become a software engineer, whether you're still learning how to code, you're preparing for interviews, or you're considering a career switch. And if you're already a software engineer, I hope this video serves as a nice reminder for why you became a software engineer in the first place. I know a lot of us are feeling burnt out, and so making this video and figuring out why I love being a software engineer was very therapeutic for me. Today's video is meant to highlight the benefits of being a software engineer and to start the conversation on why I think it's a great career choice and why I think more people should consider it, because there's so much more to it than just sitting at a desk and making a lot of money. Sometimes I stand at a desk and make a lot of money. Smash the like button so my jokes can improve. With that said, let's get into it. Reason number 1 I love being a software engineer is because it's a creative field. Software engineers have the unique ability to bring ideas into life in the form of software. And I think that's really cool and useful. Have you ever been in a situation where you were like, I wish I had an app that did this, or I wish I had an app that did that? Well, as a software engineer, you can build it yourself. I know I've done this plenty of times. I made a fitness app to track my workouts to make sure I was getting stronger. I made a journal app to help me build a habit of journaling and reflection. And I even made an app to help me play Pokemon competitively online. These are all apps that already existed, but they didn't exist to my use case, and so I had the creative freedom to build the app how I wanted it and how I envisioned it, and it worked really perfect for what I needed. Bonus tip, by building your own apps, you'll gain a ton of experience, and it's actually my favorite way of learning, which is learning by doing. And you have the added benefit of being able to add it in your resume and being able to talk about it during interviews. So within the field of software engineering, there is the front-end engineer who controls how things look and appear on screen. It's a very creative role because you design the actual look of the software and how users will interact with it. If you take a look at the like button on this video, that button was put there by a front-end engineer at YouTube. While you're there, go ahead and smash that like button. It really does help me out and I'd appreciate it so much. And creativity is not just limited to the front end. I think all of software engineering is creative problem solving. I consider designing algorithms and writing code an art form in itself, and I think you really start to appreciate that when you read and see other people's code and how they solve problems, but maybe that's just me. Reason number 2 is that there are so many opportunities. Software engineers are still very much high in demand. One question I get a lot is if it's still worth it to become a software engineer because so many people are entering the field, will it be harder to get a job? I think there's some truth to that first part. More and more students are choosing to study computer science in college. Even when I was in college, the classes were already impacted, and boot camps and self-taught developers are on the rise, so there are more people looking to become a software engineer. In my opinion, there will always be a demand for good software engineers. Emphasis on good, and getting good is the hard part. Apple was in the news recently because they gave certain employees $180,000 or a retention bonus, which means that was on top of their already high total compensation. These are the good software engineers, probably great software engineers that can move to any company they want, and so Apple is paying them a lot of money so that they stick around. Another question I get asked is, will AI take over our jobs? And I don't see that happening anytime soon, but let me know what you think about that in the comments. In terms of where you want to work, you have a lot of options to choose from as well. You can join a big tech company like Facebook or Meta, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google, just to name a few. But I know not everyone wants to work at these large tech companies, and that's totally valid. You still have a lot of opportunities to work at medium or smaller sized companies. You can also choose to work at a startup, or you can even choose to start your own company if you wanted to. If you don't know what company you want to join and you're eligible for internships, I highly recommend interning at different companies so you get a feel for what it's like to work there. If you've seen my other videos, you know I interned at Google 3 different times, and I also interned at 2 different startups during college, and I wanted the stability and income and learning opportunities at Google, which is why I joined them full time. Another thing that's so great about there being so many opportunities in this field is that you can find work that overlaps with your interests. If you like working with data, you can be a data engineer. If you're passionate about mental health, you can join a company that solves problems in the mental health space. There's AI, machine learning, game development, crypto, Web3, databases, the list goes on and on. Whatever you're interested in, you can find work that relates to it. I think that's really exciting because it means you'll never get bored, and people's interests change over time, and so as a software engineer, your skill set is very transferable if you decide you want to work on something else. Reason number 3 is that software engineers add value to the world. You're able to watch this video because of the Sony engineers who built the software in my camera, the Apple engineers who built macOS and Final Cut Pro, which is what I use to edit my videos, and the YouTube engineers who built the infrastructure that allows you to watch any video on YouTube at any given time, which is a huge technical feat. If you watch my videos, you know I work at Google and I build the home screen of Android and the Google Pixel. Quick story, I met a couple of weeks back and they both had Pixel 6s and we all bonded because we all had Pixel 6s, and they told me how much they liked it before I even told them that I worked on the phone. And that was a cool moment for me because most people I know use iPhones, and so it was just really cool and satisfying to hear how they liked the software that I built. As a software engineer, the code you write has the ability to impact so many people. It's really cool to know that the code I write is getting used by millions of people all around the world, and that's really cool and exciting for me. I know I'm not out here writing software that's gonna save lives, but if I can just bring joy and delight into people's days, then that's good enough for me. And I know that sounds like an ego thing, and it probably is, but I think there's a lot of satisfaction and fulfillment in knowing that the work you do is actually useful, it's being used, and it actually matters. I'm curious to know, what software do you use that brings joy to your life, and what software brings sadness into your life? Let me know in the comments below. Reason number 4 I love being a software engineer is the people. In general, I find the software engineering community to be full of smart and helpful people. If you're stuck on a programming problem, you can generally ask on Stack Overflow or Reddit and a software engineer will come and help you. And sometimes you don't even have to ask the question because somebody has already asked it before and they've already been answered, and so all you have to do is Google it. Software engineering is a very collaborative role. You're going to be working with other software engineers, designers, PMs, and other stakeholders, and they're going to have a huge impact on your day-to-day life. So it makes sense that I love being a software engineer because I enjoy working with the people on my team. I feel very lucky to be on a team full of people that are smart and helpful and ambitious because it motivates me to get on their level. When I first joined the team, I was a bit anxious and nervous because I didn't want to ask any questions and bother anyone or seem annoying, but this was all in my head. In reality, they were more than helpful in explaining concepts and how things worked, and it really helped me ramp up into my work. One of the cool things about being a software engineer at Google specifically is having access to all of the smart people that work there, not just the people on my direct team. We have internal groups where people can talk about any shared interest, and one of the groups I joined is the personal finance group, and I've learned so much from that group. I've learned how to invest and manage my money wisely, which brings me into reason number 5 I love being a software engineer is the money. You can make a lot of money as a software engineer, especially in the US and especially in the Bay Area. Starting salary of software engineers in the Bay Area is going to be 6 figures, and that's a lot of money and it's life-changing. I graduated college with over $100,000 in student loan debt. But thanks to working in tech, I managed to pay it all off, and now I'm debt-free, which is an amazing feeling. Now, making a lot of money is more than just having a lot of money or spending a lot of money. It gives me access to building things like generational wealth to help out my family, to give more to causes I believe in, and being able to afford nicer things like this ergonomic chair to have a healthier body and better quality of life. And I want to say that not all software engineers will start off with a 6-figure salary or will ever reach a 6-figure salary. It depends on a lot of things like your skills, your location, your role, and the company you work for. But I think it is exciting that it's possible to even make 6 figures and even 7 figures as a software engineer in this field. If you want to know how much money I make, check out this video on how I made $1 million as a software engineer at Google. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please smash the like button. It really helps me out, and I'll see you in the next one. Subscribe.